Hey, I'm Carl Hood with Analog Way, and welcome to my office hours. So let's set up a basic two-projector blend here in the Aquilon. Let's dive into WebRCS. So in WebRCS, let's start by building my screen. So first, I'm going to go to Preconfig, Outputs. Here, I'm going to click, and I can control click to select both of my outputs. You can see I've conveniently already labeled my projector A and projector B, and when I control click them both and select them both, I can change their output formats at the same time. Now, if my projectors are already HD, right, if they're already 1920 by 1080, then that is the default output format and I don't actually need to change that. But if these are 1920 by 1200, as some projectors are, then I can scroll all the way down in this drop down and choose 1920 by 1200. I can hit apply to commit that change, and now I'm going to go to screens. Let's use screen 4 in this case. Let's add my two projectors, once again using the control click to get them both at the same time. And normally I would absolutely be adding some layers onto this screen to allow me to do pips, windows, layers. But for this example, we're just doing a blend and I don't really need to show windowing at all. So I'm just going to hit apply. And we're going to go straight to canvas. Now, clicking on screen 4, you'll notice that right out the gate, the default for the Aquilon is to just stack all the outputs on top of each other. And this is obviously not going to work for our blend. I can manually move this output around. In fact, you can see I can do a really big screen if I want to. But this is kind of, it requires a little more effort because I need to figure out exactly where this output would need to go, and then I need to do a little bit of math, and I don't really want to do some math. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to flip over to grid mode under this canvas section. Over here on the right, I have a grid mode. I'm going to tell my Aquilon that I want a 2x1 grid, and what you see is that my canvas now becomes basically 2 wide, right? I have two little output buckets, and I can choose to put output 6, for example, over on the right. So now I have output 5 here on the left, output 6 here on the right, and this is great. Kind of. This would be great if this were an LED wall and they were just edge to edge, but they're not. It's a blend, right? Now in grid mode, the reason I love it so much is because I can click on the intersection of my two outputs and just set up a blend. So when I do this, click on X2, I see all of this stuff on the right, all of these blend parameters. Now, covering, that's our way of saying blend, but this is going to be what you want to choose when you're blending. For this kind of setup, if I had a 600 pixel blend, I just type in 600, hit enter, and there you go. You can see that my two outputs are overlapped. You can trust that they're overlapped by 600 pixels. And at this point, all I've done is overlap them, but if I actually wanted to feather my two outputs so that I have a nice light fall off across the board, I could turn on the feathering. I can adjust this feathering to be whatever I need it to be, depending on the projectors, the lighting, etc. But I don't have to. But if I do really want to go crazy, I could use the Bezier settings to also completely adjust the feathering in the Aquilon. But the truth is, I don't need to do any of that right now, so I'm just going to reset these and just use the regular gamma feathering. And so what this results in is a nice 600 pixel blend on my screen. And if I go back out to canvas, you'll notice that my total canvas is no longer 3840 by 1200 like it would be if it was just edge to edge. It's actually 3240 because remember, I have that 600 pixel blend, which gets rid of 600 pixels total on my canvas. So that's how to set up a basic two projector blend in the Aquilon. Be sure to check out my other office hours videos for more tips and tricks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.